I think my work is constantly in evolution, and it's kind of amazing when you look back at things that you made maybe 10 years ago and you weren't quite sure what you were doing with it then, and now 10 years later you're like, oh, I get it. I get what I was doing. Like, I understand it now. I was physically making it then, but I conceptually understand it now. I started building these pieces with the idea of I want to create a sculpture that has pieces that are trapped on the inside, that are stuck on there, but I want them to be visible, and I don't want them to be really sloppy in the glazing process. So I really had to experiment and come up with a whole bunch of different techniques, and a lot of failures, to get to that point where I could trap these pieces on the inside and have it be successful in the same sense as like a ship in the bottle, if you don't know quite how it got in there. Once you get the technique, then you're like, well, what am I doing? What am I building? What is this really about? And then you start looking at these little things inside that start to have their own little pulse and their own little life to them. And when they start getting that life, you want to know more about it. And you start to think, well, they're stuck in here and I've put them in there. And what if they did get out? What if they did escape? And what would happen? And then some of my pieces, little parts started peeking out of the holes and started trying to escape and run away a little bit, and they became vulnerable. And so it's a big balance between being protected and being safe, and reaching out into the world and being vulnerable. I've experimented with as many varieties as I can think of pieces half in, half out, crawling out, stuck on the outside, falling out of the piece entirely where they are actually next to it on the outside, and then those really safe ones that are locked in deep. And that's how I jump to the next series, when it really gets to the point where I've maxed it out, or I've altered it so much that it's now something new that it wasn't from the beginning. I'm starting to work more with bones, bone formations, which definitely leads to talking about decay and new growth coming out of that. But it's something that I'm working on, of creating this new growth from arranging fragments of bone structures that may have been found in the same way that a dinosaur skeleton might be reassembled. I've gotten inspired to take my pieces, which are inspired by nature, created with a material from nature, being clay, and then once they're finished, of putting them back out into the wild and displaying them and photographing them back in nature. And when they're returned back there, it's almost as if they were discovered, like there's some archaeological dig going on and they've washed up on shore, they've been revealed in the creek from the water washing them away. This is where I'm headed. I'm hoping to go bigger and bigger with this, in trying to get my pieces out there and document them out in the world. And maybe some will stay, maybe some will be permanent fixtures out in nature. I don't know where it will lead, but it's very exciting.